example, I've seen Christian parents who, I've seen things that I wish I didn't, and that is the Christian parents. You know, they start out loving God more than the world. But as their children grow old, the devil uses their children to make them change. You see, their children begin to get involved with worldly activities. Once that caused them to want to do things and dress a certain way so that they could fit into the world, fit in with their friends. At first, I have no doubt that the Christian parents took a solid stand against whatever their children wanted to do. But as time progressed and continue, they'll continue mourning and groaning of the children, they begin to give up and allow them to do a few things that would have never been allowed earlier. You know that old expression? You give them an inch, they're going to take them out. It did not take long for that child to figure out how to manipulate their parent and use their parent love for them as a tool to help them towards accepting worldliness. And as I said, I've seen several Christian parents over the years change their attitude about things they determined not to allow when their children were younger. And as the Christian parents, we cannot allow the devil to use our desire for our children to fit into the world and to have worldly friends to pull them away from God. No matter how many tears that our children cry, no matter how time they tells us that we are not being fair or we don't really love them, we cannot compromise the past to righteousness. I would rather they cry a river. You know, I would much rather see them cry a river before I allow the world to suck them in and lead them down a path away from the only place where there will be no tears forever. Sometimes all it takes for a parent to be pushed over to the way of the world is by listening to their other worldly friends or to their children's friends who have decided to live like the world. They hear them brag about how their children won the sexy dress contest or he or she was voted the best sexiest dresser in school. When we hear these things like that, it should make us, really cringe and feel sorry for how worldly that child has become. But instead, with some, they want to abide, to brag about something to their friend. So they do what they let me put it this way. They do what they can make their children worry so that they can toot their horns to their friends. To tell them, oh, my son, he did this, or my daughter did this, and all of that. Just to toot their horn, they're finding themselves going the way of the world. And like I said, it's not something that happens quickly. It's something that gradually. It's just like the frog and the cow going into a pond. You see a frog, he goes to the bank and he just takes, boom, one hop, and he's out there in the middle. But a cow don't go that way. A cow goes up to the bank, he stoops down, he drinks him a little water, he chews on his cub, and he moves on a little farther, he drinks him a little bit more water, or he chews on his cub, and he just go on a little, and he chew on his cub, and then all of a sudden the cow is in the middle of the pond. And that's how it is when we take and we put down our guard. And, you know, we let the world influence us. Sometimes one of the most powerful ways that Christians is influenced to fit in the world is when they see someone they grew up with in the church. They grew up with them in the church and who knew a right from wrong and doing things that they know are wrong. When a Christian see friends doing these things, and instead of them trying to warn them of the past, that they are trying to influence them back towards God, they start feeling sorry for them. And they start to convince themselves that they have missed out on life. And so they begin to engage in that worldly pleasure as well as they friend that they once tried to get them to come back to God. Friends, we have to be careful about allowing the devil to use our children or our friends to cause us to desire to fit in with the world or fit in with others. Because losing our soul to the world is not worth it. Yes, many things in the world are full of temporary pleasure. I remember one time talked to a fellow, and he's about sinning and need to obey the gospel. And the thing is, he said, you know what? Sin feels so good. And people think that, but it's only temporary. It's not going to last forever. It appears to be good, but we must learn to turn away from those temporary pleasures of life. And we must do what the Bible tells us to do. In the book of Romans, the 12th chapter, that verse is 1. Where the Bible says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And then verse 2. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that is good and bad, and the perfect will of God. This is what the Bible tells us.